Some more royal news, and this is coming on the heels of some big Prince Harry and Meghan Markle news as they were in a near catastrophic accident in New York City after being chased by the paparazzi. But earlier this week, he was taking some extreme measures to protect his family when they visit the United Kingdom after his initial request to fund his own police security in the UK was denied. His lawyers argued against the action in London earlier this week. His lawyer asked the London judge to allow him to challenge the government's denial of his request, saying that he has exceeded its authority and its denial was inconsistent with legislation that allows a police chief to provide special police services for payment. So Parliament has clearly decided that in principle, payment for policing is not inconsistent with the public interest. This has been going back and forth for quite some time. Harry wants to pay for this himself. They're saying absolutely not. So why won't the Home Office approve this request?
Well, Prince Harry no longer is acting as a member of the royal family, so he's essentially just a private citizen. So the Home Office may be saying, we don't allow private citizens to retain police officers for this reason. And it's really up to the policy of the individual department. So for instance, here in the US, you can't hire FBI agents or Secret Service agents for any reason, right? Doesn't matter how much you pay or what the circumstances are. Those are limited to public officials, protecting obviously the president or, members of Congress or Supreme Court justices. But there are instances where you can hire local police officers or county sheriffs, right? We see police escorts all the time or sporting events. It's really up to the individual agency and how they want to handle that. Sometimes they will allow it for private citizens and sometimes they won't. But, Prince Harry now is no different from any other private citizen in the UK, albeit a wealthy one.
Right. So it's if they bend the rules for one, they have to bend the rules for everyone, pretty much is what it comes down to. But so he can hire his own private security, but why does he want this extra police protection?
Well, whenever you're dealing with uniformed police officers, it's going to provide a little bit more of a deterrent, a higher level of protection than just private security. Not to say that the roles are going to differ, it's just how the public responds to someone in a uniform versus someone who's private security.
Why do you feel like he's spending so much time on these UK trials? Obviously, he's in the phone hacking trial right now. He's, contesting the security. Why do you think he's spending so much time when clearly he lives in the United States?
Well, Christina, sometimes you see people take legal action for legal reasons or even business reasons, right? There's money at stake. But this is, I think, an emotional decision by Prince Harry. I think he feels that he and Meghan have been treated unfairly by the royal family and certainly the British tabloids. I mean, he has a very poor impression of them and he really kind of wants to give them a little bit of payback. I'm not saying that he's not going to make money on these cases or, when he's dealing with the royals in the Home Office. But this seems to me personal rather than a business decision. And we do see this in a lot of the cases that we cover.
Right. And like I said before, they were in this near catastrophic accident in New York City when the paparazzi were chasing them while they were going to an event. And obviously, this is eerily familiar to what happened to his mother, Princess Diana. But does this help his case at all, being like, I need that extra protection? Look at what just happened to me in New York.
I think it does help. Obviously, you're talking about a different city, different country, but I mean, you're right. I'm a little bit older and I do remember Princess Diana and how she tragically passed away. So I'm not saying the prince doesn't need security, doesn't need protection. The question is, does he have a right to uniform police officers, to take them off the street, pay them, whether it's a normal pay or overtime? Again, it's something that governments routinely do. It's just a question of, is it something that's offered to all private citizens or really none at all?
Right. Do you feel like he'll get this now traveling in the United States, maybe to big cities?
I don't think so. I mean, this is something that typically law enforcement agencies don't do unless there's a specific reason or an event. So obviously here in LA, they'll do it for the Academy Awards or, football games or, the World Cup or the Olympics. I mean, that's something that you're going to expect to see uniformed police officers, but you don't see private citizens just walking around the city of LA with, LAPD escorts. It just doesn't happen.
For more news content and exclusive interviews, make sure to hit the sub, like, and bell button down below and visit usmagazine.com.